If you want to hear the facts about the case between Odogwu of Asaba and Favour, I want you to watch this video by unfiltered reporters. They gave a clear facts about this case.
A young woman leaves her home in Ughell. She's chasing a dream a stranger sold her online. She travels to a city she has never lived in. 2 weeks later, she's gone. Her name was Favour Agbro. She was 20 years old. And right now, her name is trending across Nigeria. A man is in police custody. The country is demanding answers. But here's the problem. Half of what you've read about this case online is wrong. So today, I'm going to do something different. I'll give you only what has been confirmed. Nothing invented, nothing exaggerated. Just the facts and what they mean. If you are new here, this is what we do. The full story, only the confirmed facts, nothing made up. Let's begin. First, let's be clear about who this story involves. Favour Agbro was a nursing student. She came from Ughell North in Delta State. Now, you may have seen posts online calling her an actress. That is not correct. Multiple outlets, including Punch and PM News, describe her as a nursing student. I'm correcting that early for a reason. When a story spreads this fast, small errors travel with it. And if the basic facts are wrong, everything built on top of them is shaky. The man at the center of the case is Ughell. Online, most people know him as Odogwu of Asaba. He's a content creator based in Asaba with a real following. Here's what the police have officially done. The Delta State Police Command arrested him. Their spokesman, Bright Edafe, confirmed the arrest publicly. Ogbonna has since been remanded in custody. Remember that word, remanded. It means held while the case is investigated. It does not mean convicted. We'll come back to why that difference matters so much. So why is this exploding now? Because two things collided this week. Activists began posting about the case online, and the police released their official statement. Together, they turned a private tragedy into a national conversation. Now, let's walk through what actually happened, step by step.
Now, let's step back and understand the bigger picture, because this case is about more than two people. Let's talk about the offer itself. Come, let me teach you to go viral. On the surface, it sounds generous, but look closer. Real training rarely happens one-on-one in a hotel in a city far from your family. Genuine mentors work in the open. They have others around. They don't need you isolated. Here's the red flag, and I want every young creator watching to hear this. When an online offer requires you to travel alone to meet a stranger in private, something is wrong. The setting itself is the warning. Now let's talk about the law, because this part confuses many. Ogbonna has been arrested and remanded. To many, that already sounds like guilt. But under Nigerian law, it isn't. Arrested means the police have detained him. Remanded means he's held while they investigate. Convicted means a court has found him guilty. He has not reached that third stage. Only a court can decide that. So why do the police keep saying alleged, even when the public is certain? Because that word protects the process. It protects the accused from a rushed judgment. And strangely, it also protects the victim's case. A clean process is harder to overturn later. Here's the safety lesson underneath all of it. Tell someone where you're going. Meet in public. Never travel alone to a stranger you only know online. These simple habits save lives. Later, I'll show you why the way the public is reacting could actually affect the outcome. Stay with me. The next part is where most of the rumors online fall apart, so subscribe so you don't get misled by the fake versions. So what does all this mean? Now I'll share my analysis, and I'll be clear about where fact ends and opinion begins. Here's my honest view. The public anger in this case is understandable. A young woman is dead. People want justice and they want it now. But there's a danger in demanding a verdict before the trial. Here's why. If the process is rushed or mishandled, a guilty man could later use that to appeal. In other words, mob pressure aimed at justice can sometimes hand the accused an escape route. That's my opinion, based on how these cases often unfold. You may disagree, and that's fair. Now, here's a pattern few people are talking about. How many of these creator training traps operate in complete silence? Many victims never speak. They feel ashamed. They stay quiet. This case is loud only because Favour left a record behind. But let me offer the other side too, because fairness demands it. Public pressure isn't always harmful. Sometimes it's the only thing that forces the police to act quickly. Without the noise, some cases quietly disappear. So hold both truths at once. Pressure can distort justice, and pressure can also demand it. The line between the two is thin. Question for you. Should the public demand a verdict before the court rules, or wait? Tell me in the comments. I read them.
Now, let's bring this home. What happens next, and what should you take away? Watch two things going forward: the court process and the findings of the police investigation. A government aide has already publicly called for a life sentence if the allegations are proven. That tells you how much attention this case now carries. But the outcome must come from evidence, not emotion. That's the only way justice actually holds. Here's the one thing I want you to remember. An offer that sounds too generous from someone you've only met online deserves suspicion, not a bus ticket. Favour was chasing a future. She trusted the wrong promise. If her story teaches even one person to pause before trusting a stranger, then some meaning comes from a senseless loss. And finally, something important. This story touches on suicide. If you're struggling or someone you know is, please reach out. In Nigeria, you can call the Suicide Prevention Initiative on 0806 210 6493. You are not alone, and help is real. Subscribe and turn on the bell for the follow-up when the court makes its ruling. And watch the pinned video next on staying safe with online mentorship offers. Thank you for watching. Stay careful out there.